Irvine High School for the 1990 Illinois High School Association Girls State Gymnastics Meet. Hello, everyone. I'm Ann Penstone. I'm really looking forward to bringing you all the action. With me is Judy Bussey from Downers Grove North. And Judy, music, action, people coming in. It's gymnastics tonight.
It certainly is. We're in for a very exciting evening, I'm sure.
You know, Judy, you and I have seen this meet for several years, and every year it gets better and better and more exciting. And we really have two meets going on here tonight.
That's correct. We're carrying both a team trophy, a team individual, and individual competition also. About 34 teams are represented here with partial teams, individuals that have qualified through the regional and sectionals to be here. Also, 8 teams qualified their entire team, and they're here really to decide who the team champion is. Most of that competition really took place yesterday. Tonight, we're going to end up crowning 4 individual champions. It's going to be exciting.
And we've got 4 events that are going on here. We've got the balance beam, the uneven parallel bars, the vault, and the floor axe. All really exciting events. As Judy said, we'll be crowning individual champions. The all-around champion's already been decided, and we'll crown her tonight and the team as well. Judy, those events, starting with the balance beam.
The balance beam is probably the nail-biter. I think we've said that many times. It's 16 feet long, 4 inches wide, and many meet is won or lost at the balance beam. It's they really take the tumbling and put it on the beam, and I think that's what's really exciting about it. We're looking at a lot of balance.
And we're looking at Cheryl Karowski right now, one of the most exciting performers.
Cheryl Karowski is coming into the finals in first place. She's a senior from Resurrection, and I think we're going to see some very exciting tumbling from her today.
Next event that we're going to be seeing is going to be the uneven parallel bars. Really one of my favorite events, and I think a very crowd pleaser as well.
I really like that. It's a swinging event. We see a lot of swinging up and down and around through the bars. It takes a lot of strength and a lot of power to be able to do that event very well.
Now, one of the events, we've seen a lot of improvement on the bars particularly. One of the young ladies we're going to see is Jennifer Torres on the parallel bars.
Now, Jennifer Torres is a freshman. That's kind of interesting. She's a freshman from Barrington. She's coming into the finals here, tied for 3rd place. Incredible person. She's scored a 9.5 yesterday in the preliminaries, and so we'll be really looking forward to seeing what she can show us here today in the finals.
The next event that we're going to see is the vault. It's a very quick event. They get 2 chances at it, and there are very difficult vaults being done here tonight.
We'll see a lot of Sukaharas. A Sukahara is a common vault at this level in different positions, layout. We'll see them in pike form. I think it's an exciting kind of a thing to watch. It takes, again, once a lot of timing, a lot of power, and a lot of speed.
Now, they get 2 scores. They take the best.
They take the best. Each vault is judged independently of each other. Then the higher of the 2 scores is the one that they actually end up using in the end.
Let's take a look at one of the vaulters here tonight, Missy Olson of Downers Grove North.
She's a junior. This is her first trip to the state meet, and she's just a real powerful person, whether it be on the floor or the vault. And we may see a Kazumatsu out of her tonight, and that'll be the first time that's been performed at the high school level.
And one of everybody's favorite, the music that we're hearing in the background, will be part of the floor exercise. It's a beautiful event, one of the most incredible setups right now that we have because everybody is so close.
It really is. I mean, you had to have a 9.5 yesterday in the prelims in order to even make it into the finals. And we had 12 qualifiers, so we'll have an opportunity to see a lot of just outstanding floor exercise routines.
Not only do we have a lot of people tied here tonight, but we have 3 defending champions that are part of that tie.
That's correct. Liz Calabresa, Shannon Hayes, and Jennifer Redmond are all here to try and defend that title.
Right now we're going to get a chance to look at Jennifer Redmond on the floor.
And she is, like we said, the defending champion. And by virtue of that massive tie that we had in first place, she's really in a big way, 7-way tie for 7th place. And she came in yesterday with a 9.5, a real powerful tumbler. We see lots of height, lots of real fun things that she does.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to seeing all these competitors soon, the real tight matchups, and we'll be back with the opening ceremonies right after this. The competition's been very tight. 9.7, of course, is the high score coming in, but the cutoff score was 9.5. They had to save some room for tonight, so sometimes that's what's so difficult at judging. You never have a place to put the scores after you begin, so you got to leave some room, and it's very conceivable that these scores could each go up to some degree.
I would expect so, but I don't think a judge would be afraid to give a vault that deserved a high score in the beginning. If it deserved that, they would throw that score.
Jenny being introduced here to the crowd, getting a fine rousing welcome. A little bit, well, you can see the concentration in her face. There goes the smile for the judges.
Now, my guess is her first vault here will be a pike Sukahara. It's a fun vault to watch. She'll take a real long, hard run towards the vault. After she leaves the board, she'll do a half turn onto the horse, then from her hands, a 1.5 somersault to her feet. Nice job. One little bitty step there. That was a very nice vault.
We're underway. Nice start by Jenny Rensler.
Didn't look like she was too nervous after all.
Say, these kids are amazing.
Wagon in the parking lot with their lights on.
Get a chance to look at this again.
The license plate number is HKX 155.
She has to run very hard to do this. If you watch, she hits the board and then takes a quarter turn on, and then from her hands, she does a 1.5 somersault in a pike position to her feet, and then signs off to the judges. That was a very nice vault. Now her second vault here is a very difficult vault. She's doing a handspring front. She'll do a handspring onto the horse, and then from her hands, once again, a front forward 1.5 somersaults to her feet. Excellent. That's an exciting vault to watch. We won't see any more of those, I don't believe, this evening. Hugs all around.
Here you get a look at our next competitor. That's Shannon Hayes. Shannon, a veteran of this meet. She's a senior, a real crowd favorite. She's defending champ on floor exercise. She's from Rolling Meadows High School. She's really a performer. She's coming in with a 9.6 from the prelims and a tie for third.
I would have to think that being a senior has its advantages here, particularly since she's no stranger to the state finals.
You know, some years it's been the predominant trend to have a lot of youngsters, but this year it seems that the experience has balanced out a little more. There tend to be some older competitors. There's not as much youth, but the youth that is here, you're going to see tonight, is incredible.
That's correct.
And tiny in some cases, but very power-packed.
That's true. We're still waiting for Jenny Rensler's score.
There is an averaging that goes on at the judges' table, and always it's very difficult the first one because you're setting a standard and also making sure you've got your format set. Each of the judges puts up her own
Here
score,
it
and then on
comes.
the
It's
double.
a 9-7. So rerun. Outstanding score. There's a trendsetter.
So that's the score right now that everybody's got a point at. As Shannon Hayes begins, that's our coach Al Galati. Shannon has been getting better through regional, sectional, and hopefully for her now in state. She's really had a progressive season.
There's a handspring full. There's a handspring onto the horse, and then on the backside, she has a full twist before she lands and she hits the ground.
Judy, in general, do gymnasts do their toughest vault first or second?
Generally, it's done second. That's the general progression through. You have 2 chances at a vault. You may not repeat the vault, however. So your first vault, if there is such a thing as a lesser, most of the vaults that we're seeing here this evening have a 10.0 maximum score, and the difficulty is equal. But she probably has her better vault second. My guess is we're going to see some Sukahara in some position here. And there's a pike. Nice job. Beautiful, nice distance off the backside of the horse. Wonderful vault.
I think she liked that one.
She's excited. We'll have a chance to look at this again. Look at the determination in her eyes here. Need a very powerful run to do this vault. Good height, nice distance, excellent form. No step, stands it right up. Nice job.
Waiting for scores, Shannon Hayes. And they're coming up.
For Shannon Hayes,
9.6.
9.6.
Again, that's an average score of the fourth. They throw out the top and high and the low and take the two in between and average them. So 9.6 for Shannon Hayes, right now in second place. Tamika Adams, a junior from Rich Central, will be the next vaulter.
She's qualified for the state meet. This is her 3rd year in a row, but this is also her first trip to the finals. So I imagine when you're in the finals for the first time, you've got a few things going through your mind. I think she's ready. Her first vault will be a full on and a handspring off. Very difficult vault. She's a full twist in the middle of the air, touches the vault, and then lands on the backside. Nice job.
Her pre-flight and after-flight seems a lot longer than the first 2 vaulters that we've seen.
And that's one of the things the judges look for. She needs that extra long pre-flight, particularly because in that time frame from the time that she leaves the board till she touches the horse, she's doing a full twist.
Her teammate, of course, Jennifer Redmond, who we'll see a little bit later, is the defending champ on this event.
We have a chance to look at this again. After her feet leave the board, she'll do a full twist in the air. There's the full twist, hands touch, and then she does a handspring on the backside. Beautiful vault.
We've got slow motion to see breaks in form, but boy, she really looked great even on slow motion.
She held the legs real well. Her second vault, she's going to start out the same way. She's going to do that full twist on, but she's going to add another half twist on the backside. So this is a full on and then a half off. Nice job. Just one little step to catch her balance, to regain her balance. She's got beautiful distance. Her post flight is just wonderful. A real powerful vaulter.
That's Tamika Adams of Rich Central. And they are definitely in the running for the state championship right now, leading with a score of 147.00. And each vaulter or performer for them that increases their own score will be added to that team score. So she's got two things she can help out. Sonny Steck, junior from Naperville Central, scored 9.5 in the prelims, a tie for 7th.
Sonny Steck is no stranger to the state finals. In fact, last year, she finished in 3rd place on this event. She's another very powerful, strong performer.
Which is an improvement over her
Had the advantage of having her teammates around a couple of times. This year, she's competing as an individual. The score for Tamika Adams is a 9.55. So our leader is still Jenny Rentschler with the 9.7. She'd like to keep it that way since that's the way it went last night.
That's true. If Sonny has anything to say about those, she's going to try for this. Her first vault will be a pike Sukahara. Now, she didn't really over-rotate that vault, but she did need a couple steps to balance. So each time she takes a step, that costs her, or she is actually penalized, 1/10 of a point. She'll have a chance to do her second vault. Now, her second vault is also a Sukahara, but she's going to do the back 1.5 in a layout position. And she clearly had enough power on that first one, so we'll have a chance to look at this. It's a very difficult vault. Nice job.
Sonny Steck, Naperville Central.
She held the layout position very well. Right at the very end, kind of had to pike it in. We're going to have a chance to look at this again here. Once again, a very powerful run is needed to do this vault in a layout position. From her hands in the layout position, a back 1.5. Have to tuck it in just a little bit there. A little hop for balance, and nice job. Very difficult vault.
And Judy, you could really see the punch with the hands off the
That's
board.
right. It's called a block when you drive off that way. Score's coming up right away.
Score for Sonny Steck.
9.65. That puts her in the second place for Sonny Steck. Still trailing Jenny Rentschler. So as Cheryl Kurowski gets ready, the senior from Resurrection, one of the most exciting performers the state meets has seen in recent years, had a 9.6 in her vault last night.
Her afterflight and the height that she gets on her vaults is just staggering.
She's a very powerful gymnast.
Yes. Her first vault will be a pike Sukahara. We've seen quite a few of these, but I think Cheryl does just an outstanding job getting up and out. Nice job. Beautiful vault. One little step there to regain her balance.
Has had a history of ankle problems, as you see the braces on her ankles, and last year she was injured coming in the meet, still did an outstanding job, but this year I think she's been a little bit healthier.
I believe you're right, and that obviously has helped because she's performing very well. We'll see her 4 times this evening.
Qualified as an individual on each of the 4 events, so obviously she's also one of our top all-rounders. She's also helping the team. Right now they're currently in 3rd with a score of 145, so everything helps.
That's correct. And here comes a layout Sukahara. Same vault that we just saw Sonny Steck do. Once again, this is a very difficult vault. Oh my, wonderful, wonderful job. Whoa.
That's what seniors do in their last
You're
meet.
not kidding. They're not holding anything back. Not a thing. She's very excited. We'll have a chance to look at this again Once again, that powerful run is obviously necessary. It's the horse, 1.5 way up in the air, and is able to stand it up without even not even a wobble.
Tell you what, that makes a big difference. You hit well in your first event, and then it just dominoes right through.
That's
9.7.
As the scores are coming up.
Improvement over her preliminary score by 1/10 of a point.
9-7 for Cheryl Kurowski. So we've got a tie right now for first. She and Jenny Rentschler. 9-7, Cheryl Kurowski.
Competing next for Downers Grove South High School, Stephanie Greigel.
Stephanie Greigel, the sophomore from Downers Grove South. 9-5 in the prelims.
Her first vault will be a Pike Sukahara. For a sophomore, she just has an awful lot of presence out there. I've watched her many times. I've always been impressed with how well she performs. Beautiful height.
Oh.
Boy, I tell you, you can always tell when they're doing well. If on the post flight, they actually continue higher up. And that's one of the things we're looking for, is height and distance on the after flight or the post flight. There's her coach, Kirk Mango, giving her an encouraging pat on the back.
She's smiling, too.
There's Annie High, another one of her teammates. Her second vault, she's going to do a different vault. Frequently we'll see gymnasts that will do 2 Sukaharas, one in one position, one another. Her second vault is going to be a handspring with a full twist onto the horse. Another nice solid performance.
Stephanie Greigel, Downers Grove South.
We'll have a chance to look at this vault again. She doesn't need quite as powerful a run for a twisting vault as you do for the somersaults. Full twist on, touches the vault, and then handspring on the backside, a step or two there to regain balance.
Young ladies that are, you see there, are part of the teams that are assisting that Sherry Wilcox, the athletic coordinator, has told us about.
Score for Stephanie Greigel.
Club members or junior varsity members. As you see, the score for Stephanie Greigel, a 9-6. So we've got a pack at the top up there.
That's correct, and that also adds another 1/10 of a point to Downers Grove South.
That was an
they are also here as a
improvement
team.
over the preliminary score, so Downers Grove South's running team total is now 142.
Annie High, her teammate from Downers Grove South. Annie's a senior, 9-6 coming out of the prelims.
South High School, Annie High.
Annie has fought injury in the past few years. This is really her first trip to the state finals. Her first bout will be a Pike Sukahara. Nice height, nice distance. There's Kirk. Gee, Coach, what do I do?
Sometimes I know they decide which of a couple of vaults they might do on the second one, too. As you see her chalk up there. Oh, you and I, being involved in athletics, know they use a ton of that stuff all during the season.
For sure.
A big cloud in the gym.
Oh, that's right. My guess is we're going to see a layout Sukahara here for her second vault. Once again, this is a very difficult vault. That was really a tuck. She must have opted out. That was probably what they were deciding, whether she should go with the layout or go with a real good, strong tuck. We'll have a chance to watch this again. You can do that Sukahara in 3 different positions, tuck, pike, and layout. And here we'll have a chance to watch one in a tuck position. The knees are bent, and she brings it around and is able to stand it up very nicely.
Score Annie High.
9-6 for Annie High. The score still to beat is a 9-7, held both by Jenny Rentschler of Home and Phosphor and Cheryl Kurowski of Resurrection. Missy Olson, a junior from Downers Grove North. Judy, you ought to know her rather well.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And I tell you, if there's someone that could maybe move into the 9.75, 9.8 range, she possibly could.
She had a 9.6 in the prelims.
Her first vault should be a pike souk. Beautiful vault, big step there to catch her balance. Nice height and nice distance away from the horse. Sometimes it's hard to get that perspective of actually how far they sail through the air. But that was a good 10 feet in the air before she actually landed.
Speaking of distance, you see the strip of white alongside the approach strip there, and it's actually it's a tape measure.
That's right. They all know exactly where they need to start. They have this actually down to a science to where they actually measure where they begin. And that's so their steps are the same, and there's just no margin for error there.
And of course, as far as the rudder board is at place from the horses, a certain number of steps.
That's right.
Missy gets ready.
My guess is we're going to see a Kazumatsu here, and if we do, this will be the first time it's been performed in high school competition. Oh, my. That was great. She did do that. Kazumatsu is a very difficult vault. It's very similar to a full twisting Sukahara. Now we'll have a chance to look at this again. Like I said, it's a difficult vault. She does a quarter turn on. And then from her hands, does a full twisting 1.5 somersault. She obviously had a little challenge there with the landing. That's really unfortunate because that is an extremely difficult vault. By far the most difficult vault we've seen here.
It's Missy Olson of Downers Grove North.
I've seen her stick that vault many times. It's just beautiful to watch.
I think a lot of people in the crowd had never seen that. Obviously hadn't seen it perform in state competition, but also hadn't had the opportunity to see her during the regular season. She gets a 9.6. So right now, she's in third place, a big tie. Fourth place is a big tie in there with the ties up above. And as you look at Elisa Rega, who's having a great state meet. She's a senior from Hoffman Estates, and she had a 9.5 in the prelims.
She's getting ready here for her first vault, which will be a tuck souk. A two-leg hop right there at the end to regain her balance. But once again, these vaulters are just really outstanding. Their power, their strength, what we're watching in after flight, like I said, it's very difficult to get a perspective sometimes, but they really have a lot of power coming off the horse.
You know, we used to talk about it. Gosh, it's the first time we'd ever seen a souk. And now everybody's doing some kind of souk, and now everybody's doing pikes, and now we're going on to the Kazumatsu as Alyssa gets ready for her second vault.
The second vault, we should be looking for a pike souk. Once again, souk in the pike position. Straight legs, brings around. Nice vault. Nice height, nice distance. Was able to drop out of the pike position and stand it up at the end. Beautiful. We'll have a chance to watch this again. Notice how high her chest is when she lands. She just kind of drops out of the sky, as it were. From her hands, once again, back 1.5, and she stands it upright.
You know, and Alyssa's going to be competing on 3 events here tonight, too, so if you get a good start, just like Cheryl was concerned about, this is really positive for her. Like a smile, oh, and we got another one at the top. So Alyssa goes into a tie with Jenny Rentschler and Shel Karowski for first. So the senior comes through.
Oh, this is exciting.
We go from senior Judy to freshman. One of the few freshmen in tonight's meet, Jenny Snell from Mundelein High School, a 9.5 in the prelims. There you get a good look at Jenny, the redhead.
I was real impressed with her yesterday. Every vault, every event that she was on, she just carries a lot of spunk with her. Her first vault should be a handspring, and on the backside, she's going to do 1.5 twists. So she should end up facing the vault when she's done. There's the handspring, 1.5, and a few giant steps to correct herself.
Jenny has a lot of speed throughout the season. I've seen her. She has a lot of speed on her runs, her takeoffs, you'll see on the floor, all those kinds of events, and it really helps her with the ability to do some of the different vaults. She also is a very slight gymnast.
Yes. She's getting ready here for her second vault. She's going to show us something different here. The twisting vault on the first one, and then we're going to see a souk on the second one. She's going to be doing a souk in a pike position. She's going to take those long legs and whip them around there. Concentrating on that start.
No.
Not a wobble. wobble. Not a wobble.
Stuck it. Jenny Snell, freshman from Mundell.
Here that is again. Once again, a great vault. We're talking about a stick here. That's when they don't take any steps on the backside. Brings it around right there. Stands it up from that point. Now, you notice the difference in the landing there between, like, her vault and the last one we watched. She had to stand up from it. It wasn't quite the drop. It's a good vault, though, a 9.5.
Next up, competing for Ridge Central High School,
Defending
Jennifer
champ,
Redmond.
Jennifer Redmond. 9-7 last year and 9-7 in the prelims, and 9-7 is the score she needs to bring her into a tie for first.
She has won this event since she's a freshman. So she's going for her 4th win on this event.
The crowd loves Jennifer Redmond, the height that she gets.
Getting ready for her first vault here, which should be a pike souk. With one little mini step there.
Here's her mom, one of her coaches.
That's right. In those last corrective, encouraging words. Now here's what you do.
Well, that's so simple. Now you got to go do it.
That's right.
Redmond's a real family affair. Sister Jill is on the team as well, competing.
She's been involved in gymnastics for a long time. Began when she was 7 years old. So she's put a lot of time, energy, and effort into this championship.
You're a 3-time defending champ. You want to leave the same way you came in.
That's right. So I'm sure she's not holding anything back here. We're looking at a layout souk, and I tell you, she does it better than anyone. Outstanding. Outstanding. One step there to correct her balance, but the height and the distance on that layout were just remarkable. Well, was it enough to go for that state record? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll get a chance to look at this incredible vault again. Half turn on, beautiful layout position, and one step to correct her balance.
Score for Jennifer Redmond, 9.8.
Oh,
That ties the state record. Also moves her into first place. With one more to
That's an
go.
improvement over her
Outstanding.
preliminary
Woo!
score of 1/10, so that raises Ridge Central's score.
Oh, everybody's excited.
127.15. Competing
that is a
last
thrilled
in this
young
event,
lady.
For
from
sure.
Wheeling High
Going to be
School,
on 4
Wendy
events, and she's
Lahuchek.
starting out with a new record, 3 events, but starts out with a state tying record and her 4th championship. There you get a good look at one of the happiest performers. She's really a cheerful kid. Wendy Lahuchek from Wheeling High School, a junior, injured last year, and a 9.5 coming out of the prelims. Capable.
Definitely. She's the last competitor on vault. There's a tuck souk. Nice job. Excellent distance. She's not very tall.
A lot of people didn't know about Wendy. Wendy was injured, broke her hand last year, and she actually had the highest all-around score coming out of sectionals. So the other gymnasts, she was no stranger to them.
She's getting ready here for her second vault. Her second vault, which will be a pike souk. Love that smile. Beautiful height. Woo! Not quite the distance that Jennifer Redmond had, but once again, beautiful in the air.
Big hug from Craig Emile and a big smile.
Love that smile. Have a chance to look at this again. I want you to look at how she goes up after she leaves the horse. She takes all this power from the run and takes this horizontal power and changes it to vertical. Up in the air she goes. And lands it, stands it up. Nice vault. Very nice vault. Here comes her score.
Score for Wendy Lahuchek,
9.7.
9.7.
Well, it looks like Jennifer Redmond may hang on to that first place slot here, unofficially here, with that 9.8 and a new tie with the state record. Outstanding.
That concludes the vaulting competition. We'll be presenting the awards in
all
the
around
vaulting
there for
event
Wendy.
in just a moment.
We'll be back with the vaulting
We'll begin
awards
the second
right
event,
after
the
this.
uneven parallel bars. The score
And
was
we are going to
9-6.
give you
and
the
four
12th
girls
through
that
first. There are
tied
several
at
ties. In
9-6
12th
were
place,
Shannon
the
Hayes,
freshman
the
from
Rolling
Mundelein, Jenny Snell, with a 9.5. And 11th, Tamika Adams from Rich Central
Annie High
with a 9.55. And then we have a big tie for 7th. Shannon Hayes from Rolling Meadows. All these scores are 9.6. Stephanie Greigel from Downers Grove South, Annie High, Downers Grove South, Missy Olson, Downers Grove North. In 6th place, Sunny Steck with a 9.65. She's from Naperville Central,
Then we have a four-way tie for
and she's a junior. And then our
When I call your name,
bunch of ties, actually all the second best score, because we had a ton of 9.7s, and it's incredible that that's the second place
That really
award.
Four girls that received that.
They're the young ladies that are going to be receiving the awards, smiling, and there is Jenny Rentschler, the junior from Holman Flossmoor, with a 9.7, earned her a second place.
That was that handspring front, the first vaulter. So obviously didn't hurt her to go first today, did it?
Not a bit. And that stood a long time, down to the 10th competitor. Cheryl Kurowski, Resurrection, also 9.7.
Alyssa Rago of Hoffman Estates.
Alyssa Rago from Hoffman Estates, a senior, also 9.7. Don Crandall doing the honors.
And Wendy Lahuchek of Wheeling High School.
Wendy Lahuchek from Wheeling High School.
There's 4 very happy young ladies.
Outstanding gymnasts. And
And first place with a score of 9.8.
and with a tying the state record with a 9.8 from Rich Central High School, your state champion, Jennifer Redmond.
I just find it so remarkable that she's able to defend that title, not once, not twice, but she is a 4-time vault champion. That is just outstanding. Her abilities just amaze me, and the crowd loves it.
That's one thing that's so wonderful about the crowd here. They are very appreciative and knowledgeable, and they give the due to each of these fine young athletes. So Jennifer Redmond with a great smile.
Stand for a few moments to allow photographers to take pictures.
We'll have a chance to look at that winning vault here. This is the state record here we're going to look at Layout Sukahara.
Oh. What a great beginning to a great meet. We'll be back with the honors right after this. At Palatine High School.
We have a chance here to, before we get ready for our first competitor, the judges for this event, the superior judges, Priscilla Gilroy, and then the 3 alternate judges are Lynn Burgell-Paver, Elizabeth Gray, and Arlene Norris.
Cheryl Kurowski opens up on the uneven parallel bars. Cheryl has a very tough routine. I have seen her do amazing things. She's incredibly strong. I've seen her pull her giant up like no other gymnast that I've ever seen.
And she's our defending champ on this event.
So I guess we've got a pace setter, and Jenny Rentschler did well on the vault. I'm sure Cheryl wants to put everything into this right now. She's done just a super job, but now it's for the individual titles. Cheryl is tough in the clutch, as you saw from her vault.
We're going to see a lot of swinging movements, a lot of high bar work. There she is. Kip to high. To one. Clear hip handstand. Straddle. Whoa. Nice recovery. 3 hip hand. Clear hip catch high. Heck to high. And she's swinging some giants here. Locks them right up on top.
Oh.
Toe on, front off with a half.
Came in second as she bounced the judges, a 9.55 in the prelims. And you got an idea of how strong she can recover from things that most gymnasts cannot.
That's right. I'm sure she's a little disappointed with having to go to plan B, as it were, but she did recover very well.
Never figured out how they can just make these things up as they go along, but they do this all the time.
Well, I'm sure in practice once or twice she's run into that same problem, and it just has an alternate plan right in mind so that it flows very smoothly. We'll have a chance to look at the back part of her routine here. Swinging giants. And then here she's ready for a dismount. Toe on, front off with a half, and just stands it up perfectly. Now the judges will take a little bit longer here for this first routine to make sure that they're all in order. Everything looks fine. If you notice that the meet referee, Kathy Krebs, is also sitting in on this to make sure that all judges are seeing the same things. They're all looking at the same things, and just to make sure everybody's kind of in sync.
It's always interesting when the state defending champion comes up first.
That's right.
And you know what a tough routine she has. These judges do such an outstanding job. Cheryl gets a 9.4.
Not quite as strong as yesterday, but then again, she did have some problems.
Competing next from
Liz Calabrese, a junior from Libertyville High School. Liz had a 9.3. Liz has been here before.
We'd mentioned earlier that she's a defending floor champ. Let's see how well she does here on bars. Jump half turn. Free hip hand. Straddle over, catches the high. Long hang kip. Straddle back. Swinging very well. Nice leg form, nice tight legs. Cast to a hand. Giant, little trouble on top. Recovered very well. And there's a full twisting flyaway. Nice job.
Nice landing. Kurt Austin gives her congratulations.
A little problem with her giants. I know I've seen her swing giants a little bit faster than that. She struggled with them, but again, she recovered very well. It shows all the incredible strength that's necessary to do that. Here's part of that routine. We're picking her up on top of the bar. Straddles through so she doesn't hit the low bar there. She's struggling to lock it into a handstand position. And once again, straddles the legs through so they don't hit the low bar. Locks it up again on top. And is setting up for the dismount, a flyaway with a full twist. Beautiful position in a layout form. And a nice landing. Very nice dismount. Very nice.
As they wait for her scores, they're doctoring the bars. They've wet them down, chalk them up, and each competitor has real specific things they like. They get a look at one of the teammates getting ready for Christina Chung. They're doing the bars for her. And this is part of the teamwork. As you see the score just there in the corner, 9.35 for Liz Calabrese.
That's an improvement over yesterday, so I'm sure she's pleased.
She should be. Great landing.
Anytime you can improve your score in the finals, you've done well.
This is a newcomer, Christina Chung from Conant High School. Not new to gymnastics, but new to this meet. And Christina has had a fine senior season. Town is Hoffman Estates, and that's Conant High School. A very, very graceful performer.
She was swinging very well in warm-up, so I'm interested to see how well she does here in her routine with the pressure. Kip to high. Free hip hand, locks it right up. Straddle back, catches the low. Double leg jam right over the top. Long hang kip. Clear hip handstand, beautiful. She's swinging very well. Giants right straight through the top. Toes come right over the bar and a full twisting flyway.
Oh.
Beautiful routine. Very good routine. She's got to be pleased with that.
She's got such nice long lines with her extension.
I did not see one form break there. That was just beautiful. The nice long legs, straight, toe point, everything you're looking for. Plus she kept the routine moving.
What a great way to come to the state meet for the first time and
you're
perform
not
like
kidding.
that. That is wonderful.
Here she is again in full motion. Free hip hand. Locks it on top. Once again, has to straddle on the way down through, not to hit the low bar. Nice giants. We're looking at it in slow motion here. See a good form, slight arch in the back, but the toes come over the bar. And then a full twisting flyaway, very high. She finishes her full twist at the high bar level and then drops it down to the floor.
Score for Christina Chung.
And the judges liked it too. 9-6.
Outstanding, outstanding.
That is the second best score in the meet so far through the prelims and the finals, and it's the one to beat because the other ones don't mean a thing. You got to do it tonight.
That's right. Everybody starts with 0 today.
Christina with the smile. She should be. That was beautiful. And Jody Forsberg, the senior from Palatine, is going to have to come in after that. Jody is a 3-sport athlete here at Palatine, which is really unique to most of these top-flight gymnasts, and that's one of the neat things about Jody. Been on the state championship defending team, and her score was a 9-5. This is one of her best events.
She uses the board for a mount here. She'll do a vault mount almost. She straddles over the low bar and catches the high bar. Free hip to a handstand, toe on handstand. In trouble there, trying to save it, can't. Now she's got 45 seconds to chalk up and remount. And there is a deduction for that. There's a 5/10 deduction for the fall. And she'll pick up with her routine where she left off. Free hip hand and giants. Straddle back. Free hip on the low bar. Moving well. Getting ready for a dismount here. Nice. And a full twisting flyaway.
Nice landing for Jody.
Nice recovery. You know, for some gymnasts, when you fall off in the middle of routine, it's very difficult to pick up and go on from there. She showed no signs of that whatsoever.
That's been one of Jody's greatest strengths. She's been such a team player, and that you don't think about that in gymnastics, but it really is true.
We'll pick her up here in mid-routine. Clear hip to a handstand. Comes through the bottom with her dismount, full twisting flyaway. No steps.
Jody Forsberg, the senior from Palatine High School. I think this is her favorite gym.
I would imagine so.
The defending champ is Cheryl Karowski. She had a 9-7 last year. A little disappointed with her 9-4, I know, this year. And the state record is held by Cheryl and Eva Gordon, that same score. Eva Gordon out of Niles North, 8-9-5 for Jody.
And once again, that low score is due to the fall. It was a 5/10 deduction.
Next up from Rich Central High School, Jennifer Redmond.
Up now is your defending 4-time and just crowned vault champion, Jennifer Redmond from Rich Central. 9-3-5 was her prelim score.
Sorry about that. This is her 4th trip to the finals in bars. Also, she's just a very seasoned competitor. Pirouette over the top there. Rear seat circle. Long hang. Dislocate. Double leg jam. Long hang. Cast to a handstand. Swinging giants. She's in trouble. Oh. Timing was just a little bit off there. She's opting not to chalk up. She'll head right back on. Once again, she'll pick up from where she left off. Giant and a layout flyaway. No doubt disappointed.
He gives it a smiling way to her teammates. And Rich Central, speaking of that team, has added .15 to their team score. Right now they are leading 147.15, and in second place is Palatine High School, 145.85, and Resurrection in third, 145.10.
We'll have a chance to watch Jennifer again here. She comes through on this handstand, and if you notice, the timing is just a little bit off. Her toes never get over the bar. She arches, she tries to save it, but the legs have stopped and she has to come back down. It's unfortunate, but the timing is so critical when you're swinging giants.
They make everything look so easy that I'm always very surprised when something like that happens in the middle.
I know I couldn't do it.
Not a chance. 8.85 for Jennifer Redmond. Next up is Elisa Rego, a senior from Hoffman Estates. Elisa second in vault. And now here's her bar routine.
Vaults over the low bar, catches the high bar. Clear hip to a handstand. Straddles through, swinging some giants here. Very fast. Vaults over the low bar, double leg jam, woo, into a long hang, and a layout flyaway. Only slight problem on that double leg jam, broke the legs just a little bit. Other than that, she moved very quickly through the bars. Nice bar set. Chance to look at this again. From the long hang kips, cast to a handstand. And her dismount, layout flyaway, nice body position in the air. This is her first trip to the state finals in bars. We're getting the bars ready for the next one here.
And that's Diane Sajudi, the junior from Arlington Heights Hersey High School. And Diane had one of the top routines last year, and unfortunately in the prelims had a fall and did not get to compete, as you see the score from Elisa Rego. So she's really excited about being to put her bar set to practice this year in the finals.
Competing next from Hersey High School, Diane Sajudi.
She's ready. Right to a handstand. Clear hip, locks it back up to the handstand again. Soul circle, half turn. Double leg jam. Right through into the long hang kick. She's moving very well. Nice cast. Clear hip, swinging giants, pikes them through. Again, looking good. Toe on, back with a half. Oh, Komanich touched her hands there. There'll be a slight deduction for the hand touch.
Look at that, Chris.
She's disappointed. She was, I know what she's thinking. You have a chance to look at this mount again. She vaults right to a handstand on the low bar, straddles it up, presses up, holds it there momentarily, and then does a clear hip on the low bar and takes it right back up to that handstand position.
She has such nice
circle,
long lines.
Yes, she does. Double leg jam right through the top, grabs the high bar. Very good form. Toes to the bar, casts, another clear hip to a handstand. And you notice here she pikes through on her giants. Others have opted to straddle through. She pikes through. Getting ready for her dismount here. She does a Komanich, toes on, whoa, and touches down with the hands.
It's her teammate, Kathy Couts, a sophomore. Kathy and Diane, it's been really fun for them to compete together this year. Kathy did not compete as a freshman, and as a sophomore has come on the scene in a great way this year, as Diane Sajudi gets a 9-3. To get an idea of how difficult the routine was, since there was a good deduction for the touch.
That's right. And that equals her score from yesterday, so she needs to feel pretty good about that.
Kathy Couts came in with the best score, 9.65.
Straddle over the low bar, catches high, straddle back, Stalter work, beautiful, locks it right up into a handstand, clear hip hand on the low bar. She's moving very quickly, excellent form, double leg jam right over the top. Look at those straight legs. Front hip circle, another Stalter, locks it up on top, and a Komanich with a half. Beautiful, beautiful routine. Outstanding.
Kathy Couts hit that one.
Oh, remember that name.
She gets a bunch of hugs from her Husky teammates, her Hersey Huskies.
Once again, it was her form that really impressed me on this routine. We'll get a chance to watch the whole routine again here. Here's her mount. vaults over the low bar, catches the high bar. She starts the swinging immediately. Straddle back, almost into a handstand. That's incredible. Stalls her on the low bar, locks it right up into a handstand. Clear hip into the handstand once again. Outstanding.
Judy, the score for Kathy Couts breaks the old record.
Oh, yes.
She gets a 9.8. So we have, at this point, our leader has the state record and something for the rest to certainly shoot for.
Well, it's this incredible form. She is just outstanding all the way through. And the Coleman each with a half is a very difficult dismount. It's a blind landing for her that time. Outstanding.
There's the smile of Kathy Couts.
We're picking up Jenny Snell here in the middle of her routine. Jenny's the freshman from Mundelein. We saw her on the vault. Swinging giants here, straddles through. Straddle back, double leg jam. There's a long hang kip. Cast a hand, and a double back. Double back flyaway for a dismount. She needed a step there to regain her balance. That's another difficult dismount. Boy, are we seeing some incredible things here today.
Just a freshman from Mundelein High School, Jenny Snell.
Chance to watch her again. Straddling through on her giants. Straddle back over the low bar. A double leg jam right through to the high bar. Long hang kip. Cast hand. Comes through and immediately into a double back flyaway. Nice job. One big step there for balance.
And the score for Jenny Snell with one competitor to come, 9.5.
That's an improvement over yesterday. She got a 9.35 yesterday.
She's Jennifer Torres.
Jennifer Torres, who we highlighted before the meet, also a freshman, so the youngsters are in on this event.
She comes into this final competition with a tie for fourth place. Straddles over the low bar. Long hang kip. Clear hip to a handstand. Straddling through on her giants. Moving very quickly. Vaults over the low bar. Double leg jam. Cast hand. Looking very good. Toe on, front off. Difficult dismount. Nice job. It's a blind dismount because once again, when you're going forward, you can't see the ground. You just have to do it many, many times so that you know right where the ground is.
Gail Krass, the coach of Barrington, who's just really had a tremendous year this year.
Pick her up in mid-routine. Long hang kip, casts immediately to a handstand. Straddle through on the giants. And there's her toe on, tuck front, and stands it up beautifully. Nice job.
One of the things I like best about Jennifer Torres is her smile. She's always smiling. I've seen her fall in the vault. She comes up smiling. I've seen her do well. And she gets the 9.6 to tie her for second. 9.65 puts her there by herself. So unofficially, we've had two events, getting ready to crown our second state champion, and two records.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what the rest of the meet has to offer.
So unofficially, the state champion will be Kathy Couts, a sophomore from Hersey High School in Arlington Heights with a new record, 9.8. And we'll be back with some awards right after this. Bill Cox, the PA announcer, and Kathy Krebs to present the awards.
The sixth place with a score of 37.50 points from Palatine High School, Jody Forsberg. And now the medal winners. In fifth place, with a total score of 37.55 points from Mundelein High School, Jenny Snell.
An award winner
as a freshman.
In fourth
We've got
place,
a couple
with a
of them here.
total score of 37.75 points,
That's quite a feat.
from Barrington High School, Jennifer Torres.
Here's another one. The youngsters did well.
In third place, with a score of 37.85 points, from Hoffman Estates High School, Alyssa Rago.
She's a senior, no doubt. Used her experience to do well here. Finishing third all around. The competition was so intense. Oh my.
In second place, with a total score of 37.95 points, from Hersey High School, Kathy Cowles.
Kathy's just a sophomore. No doubt we'll see much of her in the future.
To give you an idea how tough this competition was, her all-round total score tied the 7-year record, and she didn't win it.
That's right.
In first place, with a total score of 38.20 points. By the way, that's the first time the 38-point barrier has ever been broken. With 38.20 points from Resurrection High School, the 1990 Illinois State All-Around Champion is Cheryl Kurowski.
There she is. All-around state champion, Cheryl Kurowski, breaking Janie Klapek of Lyons Township LaGrange record that has stood from 1983 with a 38.20. That's an average of 9.55 per event.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Now that's really consistency. You can perform at that level that often. You deserve to be the champion.
Those are 5 outstanding gymnasts. 2 we won't see again here in high school. They're seniors. 2 are freshmen and 1 sophomore. You just saw the all-arounders, and now we're going to give the awards for the uneven parallel bars, which were just completed.
The competition is just outstanding. I am just really impressed with the way the finals have been going. For breaking records, it's just outstanding.
Sandy Oldham, the coach at Palatine High School and the meet director.
With a score of 8.95 points from Palatine High School, Jody Forsberg. There's a tie for 7th and 8th. The score is 9.3. Alyssa Rago and Diane Sajudi both received that score. In 6th place, with a score of 9.35 points from Libertyville High School, Liz Calabresa. And now the medalists. Presenting the awards to the medalists is Mrs. Sandy Oldham, head girls gymnastics coach here at Palatine High School, our host for this 14th annual 1990 IHSA Girls State Final Gymnastics Meet. In 5th place with a score of 9.4 from Resurrection High School, Cheryl Kurowski.
Cheryl Kurowski making another trip to the award stand. 5th place with a score of 9.4. The uneven parallel bars.
She's a true champion.
In 4th place with a score of 9.5 from Mundelein High School, Jenny Schnell.
Once again, here comes the freshman.
Her score was a 9.5 as she gets ready to receive her award from Sandy Oldham, Palatine High School coach.
In 3rd place with a score of 9.6 from Conant High School, Christina Chung.
What a fine performance by Christina Chung of Conant High School. First trip goes to the award stand. What a beautiful, elegant routine.
We'll have a chance to watch
In
her
2nd place with a score of 9.65 from Barrington High School, Jennifer Torres.
Another freshman.
In 1st place with a 9.8 score, which I think is a new state record, from Hersey High School. The 1990 Illinois State uneven parallel bar champion is Kathy Couts.
A sophomore from Hersey with a great routine.
Congratulating her fellow competitors there.
Not sure. The only thing she doesn't know how to do is get up on the award stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 1990 uneven parallel bar.
And the crowd gives the top 5 uneven parallel bar competitors in the state of Illinois a great round of applause.
And here's this record-setting routine once again. Beautiful form, nice swinging movements.
We'll take a 15-minute break. You can avail yourself of the concession stand.
Stalter work, very difficult.
We'll meet back here
Requires a lot of strength.
and start the balance beam competition.
Tight legs, pointed toes. This is what championship routines look like. Front hip circle. Another Stalter. Locks it up on top. And Coleman each with a half.
Judy, 2 events, 2 state records, and now the nail biter. We'll be back with the balance beam right after this. People are outside trying to get in, and sorry folks, there's no more room. We're getting ready for the balance beam, and they're going to make sure that this capacity crowd is fairly quiet because it takes so much concentration. That's Kim Salerno, her first appearance this evening. She's also a freshman from Thornton Fractional South with a 9.2 in the prelims, which had placed her 7th coming in. And again, we remind you that those scores don't mean anything. You have to do it tonight.
Our judges for this event, the superior judge is Lynn Brigel-Paver, and the other 3 helping out there will be Priscilla Gilroy, Pam Hamilton, and Elizabeth Gray. And there's superior judge Kathy Krebs.
They have a minute and a half for this routine.
And she does a jump on mount. Setting up for flip-flops. 2 flip-flops. Steps out the second one. Those were continuous. No pause in between. That's what they look for. And a switch leap. Nice height. And a jump. 2 pike jumps. Moving very well on her toes. And a flexibility move there. And it's a gainer flip-flop. Moving very well for a freshman and the first competitor. Full turn, that is a required move. A front handspring, very difficult. Once again, it's a blind landing. She had to catch herself on the beam. There'll be a major deduction for that. Getting ready for a dismount. Round off, full twist. Nice job. Whoa. I like the expressions on their faces. It's hard to try and sometimes figure out what they're saying or what's going through their mind. Like, at least I didn't fall.
And that's quite an accomplishment on 4 inches up there.
And here we have that front handspring, and very difficult because she can't see the beam for the landing. You have to feel it with your feet. And she sets herself up and just moves right on, right into the split jump, and goes on from there. And gets ready for a dismount, which is a round off, and then back with a full twist.
Sticks it. Kim Salerno, freshman from Thornton Fractional South. We're waiting for her score to come up, and again, it always takes a little bit longer for that first competitor. And then things move quite well. as everything does here at Palatine High School with the tremendous work that Sherry Wilcox and her crew do every year, put on this outstanding event. It's, of course, run under the auspices of the Illinois High School Association and Assistant Executive Secretary Ola Bundy.
Score for Kim Salerno. Score is
9-2.
9.2.
Again, we remind you they throw out the high and the low and average the two between, so that's a 9.2 for Kim Salerno. Same score she had in the prelims, so she's been very consistent. Letitia Dennis, a junior at Addison Trail High School, came in with a 9.15. Her dad's her coach.
That's right. She finished 4th in this event last year, so she's no stranger to the finals or to the beam. Moving very well here. There's a round off right into a flip-flop. Whoa, whoa, can't recover. She has 10 seconds to remount, and there's a 5/10 deduction for the fall. There's a split jump, nice leg position, and a second one. A handstand, strength and balance, very difficult. Setting up for an aerial cartwheel, nice. Nice move. There's that required full turn. And she's setting up for her dismount. A round off and a full twist. Nice job. But she had a fall, and I'm sure she's disappointed with that. And there's her dad, giving her a big hug.
That's a difficult routine. You got to go for it.
That's right.
You don't hold back in the state finals.
And here's her dismount. A round off, lands with both feet, and then does a back with a full twist, and stands it up.
It's always amazing to me that so many years of hard work go into a 1.5 performance.
That's right. And not only is it a 1.5, but it's 4 feet in the air, 16 feet long, and on 4 inches.
Then we have a couple of competitors here that beam is almost taller than.
That's true.
Here's Susie Ekdahl. Susie's a senior. Seems like she must be double senior. She's been around so long. She's been in the state competition for 4 years. She's been here herself every year and with her team. Susie, a fine all-around performer, performing this evening only on beam. And she came in with a 9.25. Senior from Fremd High School here in Palatine, Illinois.
Competing next from Fremd High School, Susie Ekdahl.
Score for Letitia Dennis, 8.9.
Press handstand mount. Notice how she stays on the balls of her feet. Split leap. A cat leap with a half turn. There's the required full turn. Steps right out of it. Setting up for flip-flops, 2 feet with a pause there. Looks good. Handstand, pirouette, very difficult balance move. Two jumps. And she's showing a dance series here. She's getting ready for a dismount here. Flip-flop, flip-flop, layout. Nice job.
What an exit.
It's a stick.
That's great. Susie's been here 4 years. She's been part of a team state champion with her coach Larry Petrillo coming up behind her there. And she finishes out her career with a tremendous performance on the balance beam and gets a great bunch of hugs from her teammates.
Here, we'll pick her up here, setting up for a dismount. She does 2 flip-flops right in a row without a pause. She steps them both out, brings the foot down, and goes right into her dismount, a back layout.
She knew it was
happy.
good. Right. She knew it. Kids always know.
That's right.
Just ask them.
Mm-hmm.
The score to beat right now is a 9.2 held by Kim Salerno. And Susie looking to top that if she can. She sure put a good effort on the beam. Nice dance. And
Yes.
she does it.
She moves very well.
So she takes over the lead with a 9.45. Susie Ekdahl.
That's an improvement over yesterday's preliminary score of 210. So Quinn has a new running total score of 144.20. Competing next from Schaumburg High School, Michelle Flamini.
Next up on the beam, Michelle Flamini, a senior from Schaumburg High School. 9.3 coming in.
There's a step on mount. Long legs. Switch leap. And a jump. And a back walkover. Oh, right into a back. Nice combination. Very difficult combination. And sets up for a standing back. Woo! Showing different levels. Little problem there. That's that full turn. I tell you, that causes more problems for more people. There'll be a slight deduction there because she paused and had to falter. And there's a needle scale. Shows flexibility and balance. Showing low beam work. Setting up for a Valdez. Right into a flip-flop. She has very nice combinations, putting tricks together. Cartwheel, layout back. Nice routine. Very nice routine.
Michelle Flamini from Schaumburg High School.
We'll pick her up in mid-routine here. On her dismount, there's the cartwheel, and right into a layout back. No steps. I was really impressed with the combinations and the difficulty of the things she put together. The back walkover right into a back. The Valdez right into a flip-flop. Those are very tough combinations. And she did those without a pause, without a break, which gives her extra difficulty.
So her second year qualifying here at state. And certainly goes out as a senior with a fine performance. Cindy Giroux of New Lenox Lincoln Way, a senior, closing out her career here on the beam as well. 9.30 for Michelle Flamini. Puts her into second place.
Cindy Giroux.
Well, there's a straddle jump mount. Right into a pike jump. Switch leap. And a jump. Setting up for flip-flops in succession. Nice job. Very steady. Right over the top of the beam. And her full turn. Back walkover, holds it on top, straddles down. Showing level work here. Flexibility. very difficult work here. The balance. She's holding this handstand in a right position, full pirouette. Nice job. Setting up for her dismount. Cartwheel, full twist. Nice job. Cartwheel full is very difficult because you don't get both feet down, so you're throwing that full out of one foot planted very well, and the other one kind of catches up afterwards. Excellent combination. Very smooth, very sure, very steady. And here's a replay of a chance to watch that dismount again. Once again, it's a cartwheel full. Cartwheel, gets the other foot down just this last second, and pushes off and does a full twisting back. Nice job.
Look at that face. Please, please. There's Jill Redmond, Jennifer's younger sister, helping her out there.
Oh, she's got to be excited. It was a very solid routine.
It's really neat to see how excited. Look at her coach. How excited. Kids aren't really honestly excited for each other. Well, they've known each other since they've been young. And yes, sirree, 9.50. She takes over.
We have a new leader.
And an extremely happy one. Look at that. Oh, with Central down near that area. So they kind of help out since Cindy's teammates aren't here to compete with her. She can't believe it. The state record is 9.7, held by Sonia Brandon of DeKalb.
Well, now there's a half turn into a shoulder stand.
This is Tracy Althans of Stevenson High School.
Oh, and a fall. There's a standing back. Whoa! And she's down again. And she sets up for a second one. Tracy's having a real tough time here. You just kind of take a deep breath, pull it all back together. And there's a scale. And she stops the front walkover and brings it back. That's called a tic-tac. Right into a flip-flop. Nice combination. And a pike jump. Another leap. Leap series. Combinations. Looking good. Finishing much stronger than she started out here. Must feel a little more comfortable up there now. Cartwheel full. Nice dismount. No doubt very disappointed.
Tracy probably is very disappointed. However, one thing you hate to see is for that to happen to a competitor. On the other hand, she's a sophomore, and this experience will not be forgotten and will be turned into something better. Tracy's an outstanding gymnast. She's one of the kids that can do a double full.
Yes.
We'll see her again.
I agree with you there. I was impressed by she was able to really pull it together and finish strong, because that, like I said, is very difficult sometimes. You get a little rattled if you've made a mistake, and it takes an exceptional gymnast to be able to compose yourself and to finish strong, and that she was able to do.
Particularly she fell on the standing back. She came back up and did another one.
That's right.
To get back and do the trick you just had trouble with.
That's right. And she finished very strong. Here she is finishing with her cartwheel full. Nice dismount. But again, once we said, very disappointed, I'm sure.
Well, and done without the falls. That's a very tough routine.
Yes. Yep.
Getting some words of encouragement. Here's a smile starting a little bit there. 7.6 is the score.
7.65.
7.65.
And again,
Next
she was
up
stuck at
from Resurrection
1.5
High School,
those 3 falls.
Cheryl Kurowski.
And we're talking about a 9.1 or 2 routine.
That's right. The difficulty was there.
Cheryl Kurowski, Resurrection, the senior, having a fine meet. At a 9.55, she was leading coming in. She's got a tough routine.
Yes, I was just going to say she has probably the most difficult routine of any of the competitors here and performed it exceptionally well in the prelims. Starts with a press hand. Again, she's the master of combinations. And the one she's setting up for right now is wonderful. Flip-flop right into a layout step-out. Beautiful. Switch leap. A little conservative there for her. And she just does a layout step-out standing without any momentum. It's beautiful. Front, very difficult. Oh, she fell. Very difficult because that's a blind move. Again, you can't see the beam as you come around over the top. Setting up for her dismount. Round off, double full twisting back. Nice job on the dismount.
Cheryl wanted that front.
Yes. I've seen her perform it many times, all the way through regionals and sectionals without a challenge at all. Prelims, no problem either, but it is a very difficult move. We'll pick her up again here in mid-routine. Setting up for a dismount. This is the first double full we've seen as a dismount. She has a round off and then a back with a double full, something we frequently see on floor. There's the round up, 2-foot takeoff, and 2 full twists before she lands. Nice height, very strong dismount.
We'll see Cheryl again on the floor. And here comes her score. 9.15, and remember that there's a 0.5 deduction for a fall. So you're talking about a 9.65 if she just stayed on.
That's right. And like I said, that her routine is probably packed with more difficulty than any of them we've seen here so far.
Wendy Lahuchek from Wheeling High School, a junior. Wendy's always also been a very fine beam performer.
She has a cartwheel mount. Oh, stops in the handstand. Right into a flip-flop. Nice combination with that quarter pirouette turning right into the flip-flop. Looks very confident up there. Very at home. Pike jump. Beautiful height on that switch leap. Whoa. She was way off the beam. Round off flip-flop, a tough combination. Cartwheels to the handstand. Blocks it out, moves into the overbalance, a plunge. Very strong, tough move. This could be the routine to beat here. There's that required full turn. Handles that without any difficulty. Setting up for a dismount. Round off and a full.
Wendy Lahuchek.
Oh.
One of the best parts about Wendy is she's a performer. She really plays to the crowd, and she looks like she's having a great time. And so we all have a great time with her.
Well, the stand certainly erupted here when she finished.
She's one of the most popular gymnasts around. The other kids really enjoy Wendy.
Here she is. Look at the confidence she displays up there, smiling. Very good performance. A real presence on the beam. Setting up for her dismount here. Once again, it's a round off and a full twisting back. And sticks it right there. Oh, she's excited.
Last year's championship score was a 9.45. Vicki Borneman of Palatine, who has since graduated. The record is Sonia Brandon
Score
of
for
DeKalb,
Renee
stood
Mahuchik,
since 1986 with a 9.7. Came close.
Close.
But Wendy's got the one to beat when it counts, which is tonight, 9.65. She takes over the lead. With two
Up
competitors
next
to
from Joliet
follow.
West High
The first
School,
one will be
Heather
Heather Meyer, a senior from Joliet West.
This is her first trip to the finals. Very unique mount, forward roll, goes right into the handstand, rolls out of that. Very risky moves. She handled those very well. And a switch leap again, nice height on that. A tuck back, standing back. Real good, setting up for a second one. Outstanding, very solid, just rocked those. And a full turn and a quarter, and oh my. That's a 1/10 requirement. And in this case, cost her a 5/10 deduction. Nice needle scale. And there's a pose showing different level work. And a Valdez, one arm. Nice job. Now, I'm not sure if we heard those, but she received a warning, the whistle warning, which meant she had 10 seconds to complete her routine. She received the second whistle, which meant that they just stopped judging her routine at that second whistle. So she missed, she would not get credit for the last portion of her routine, which was her dismount. So there will be a serious deduction for that. She was overtime. You're allowed a minute and a half, and she went beyond that. Here she's setting up her combinations for a dismount, back walkover, flip-flop, and then a tuck back. Unfortunately, the second whistle blew somewhere in the middle of that series there.
We have one competitor remaining, and I'm sure Wendy Luhuchek is holding her breath here because it is someone who has a routine that's capable. Yes. Kathy Kautz, second all-around and our uneven parallel bar champion, came in here with a 9.45 in the prelims and also has an excellent routine and is performing well this evening. Seems to be some discussion on the last. I'm sure it probably centers around that time violation.
That's
You're
right.
talking about did she or didn't she get it all in. Sometimes it's hard to hear it. Sometimes they have these little bells that sound like little crystals, and sometimes it's whistles. And with the crowd noise, though it's quiet at that point, it's a little noisier than silence for sure.
I think most of the gyms are tuned into whatever that sound is. I could hear that up here, and so I'm sure she was aware of it unless she was just really concentrating on what she is. Generally, though, as soon as they hear that, they know they've got 10 seconds, so they will move through, eliminate whatever they need to get to their dismount series. And so she may not have heard that.
8.5.
8.5 is the score that they finally assess.
Next up,
and that brings us to our final competitor on balance beam this evening, Kathy Kautz, a sophomore from Hersey High School.
She begins without the use of the board and presses into a handstand. Takes a lot of strength and balance to be able to do that. Straddle down. Once again, this is all still very good. Tough dismount, mount. Jumps, turns, nice. Staying right over the beam. Setting up for flip-flops. Consecutive flip-flops, no pause, no break in between. There's a full turn, very much under control. And a double turn, and now there's a deduction for that, for grabbing onto the beam, but it's not quite as bad as having fallen off completely. Double turns are very difficult. Sets up for a standing back, rocks it. Beautiful, right over the beam. And a second one. She's setting up for a dismount? Guess not. A couple of jumps in there. This looks like a dismount here. Cartwheel. And a double full. And she may have hurt herself here.
She has had a knee injury this year, and I don't know that that's it, but she has hurt something.
Could be her ankle. Landed a little bit short on the double full here. I always hate to see gymnasts get hurt. They've worked so hard and so long, but there is a certain element of risk here, and we would be remiss not to at least mention that part of the reason that they do as well as they do without that risk is they've practiced and practiced and practiced, and unfortunately on occasion we run into a few challenges. But she had beautiful leaps. She's just way up in the air here on these leaps and jumps. And here she's setting up for a dismount, which apparently is what caused her troubles here. She's a cartwheel with a double full twist. See if we can see what happens here. There's the cartwheel, double full, and she lands on the ankle slightly outward. I would guess it could be the knee, though. I mean,
They've got ice on the knee right now.
Yeah,
9.30.
Yes.
That concludes the balance beam competition. We'll have results.
Her score is a 9.3, and that was with a major grab on the beam. So, and in the prelim, she'd had trouble getting the press handstand mount, and that one she got, it was the other end of the routine.
That's
this time
right.
I got her. And there's a lot of concern now on the floor for her as a person, and also remember she has tied for first on floor.
That's right.
Coming in, so she's an outstanding floor performer and would certainly like to compete in that event this evening, but her health is most important, and we have a fine group of trainers here that donate their time to help all these kids. And we hope Kathy's okay, and we'll return, and we'll be back with awards right after this. The difficulty that we don't know for sure, but we suspect it's a knee. She's expected to compete in the Florex, and we don't know if she will or not. That she has had a knee problem. We don't know if it's the same knee this year.
I'm pleased to see she's walking off under her own power.
Me too. A great young lady, and you just don't want to see anybody get hurt.
No.
We're going to give out the Beam Awards, and there were some tremendous performances here.
In ninth place, with a score of 8.5 points,
Mark
from
Wilcox
Joliet
for the
West,
PA.
Heather Meyer. In eighth place, with a score of 8.9, from Addison Trail High School, Letitia Dennis. In seventh place, with a score of 9.15, from Resurrection High School, Cheryl Kurowski. In sixth place, with a score of 9.20 points, from TF South High School, Kim Salerno. And now the medalists. There's a tie for fourth and fifth. The score was 9-3. The two gymnasts that tied were Michelle Flamini of Schaumburg High School and Kathy Kautz of Hersey High School. Accepting for Kathy, who was injured, is Diane Sajudi, her teammate from Hersey.
Diane Sajudi and Kathy Kautz are very close, and Diane's accepting for Kathy. I guess it's appropriate because they've both been injured all year.
That's right.
Diane with the ankle and Kathy with the knee.
In third place with a score of 9.45 from Fremd High School, Susie Ekdahl.
Susie Ekdahl with a great performance her senior year.
It matches her performance as a sophomore, I believe it was. She finished third that year also. Very appropriate. Her freshman year, excuse me.
Told you she'd been around a long time.
That's right.
And in second place with a score of 9.5 points from Lincoln Way High School, Cindy Giroux.
Cindy had an outstanding performance also.
Nice combinations, if I remember correctly, your
Yes.
comments.
Well, that's one of the
And in
characteristics
first
that are
place
common
with a
with all
score
of
of
these. They were able to
9.65
put difficult
from
combinations
Wheeling High
together.
School, the 1990 Illinois
She did
State
better than all
balance
of
beam
them.
champion,
Look
Wendy
at that
LaHucha.
smile.
And the place goes berserk.
Wendy the performer, and now the state champion on the balance beam. Just a shade off the state record with a 9.65.
Once again, ladies, please hold your places on the award stand for a few moments for the photographers to take pictures.
The missing spot.
Ladies and
Kathy
gentlemen,
Couch.
presenting the 1990 Illinois State balance beam medalists.
Here's another look at that state championship performance. Jumps to a handstand, pirouettes, quarter pirouette, and immediately goes right into a flip-flop. There's those combinations again. Very difficult combination. Her presence, she's playing to the crowd, she's playing to the judges, she's just having fun up there. Working very hard, but having fun. Her facial expressions are really fun to watch. Pike jumps. Showing different level work again. Stays on the balls of her feet. That's always a mark of a good beam performer. Here's this beautifully high switch leap, just way up in the sky. Setting up for another difficult combination, a round off right into a flip-flop. Looks like something belongs on the floor, not up on a 4-inch wide beam for sure. She does it so well.
We're now ready to begin the exercise competition. 2 minutes. We have 2 scratches in the event. Kathy Couch, the first lead with a scratch, and Jennifer Toys, a very nice one with a scratch as well.
And here's this overbalance, the plunge. Once again, a very tough strength move. Big smile. And her full turn. And then she's getting ready for a dismount, which is a round off full. A true championship performance. Beautiful job, Wendy.
And we'll be back with the final event of the evening, the floor exercise, in a moment. Champions Jennifer Redmond from Rich Central, a senior. Probably her second best event.
A very strong, powerful tumbler. Beautiful job. Round off with a layup with a half. Straight through to a layout again. Always love this event. The music, the performance.
She's fun.
Yes, she is. Getting ready for a second tumbling pass here. Foot Handspring front, through to a layout step out. Beautiful layout step out. Tempo change, the music. There's a pirouette, double pirouette. Setting up for a last tumbling pass. Round off, flip-flop, full twist.
Jennifer Redmond
started off.
closing out her career for Rich Central High School with a beautiful floor X routine.
We certainly have seen some tremendous performances from her over her last 4 years. Here's a chance to look at her last tumbling pass. Round off, flip-flop, and a full twisting back. Floats just a little bit on that.
What a smile. She has entertained all of us for 4 years, and her team right now is in the lead, and it doesn't look a whole lot like anybody's going to catch them.
That's true. Our judges for this event are the Superior Judge, Judy Matz, Vicki Munch, Rita Ayers, and Arlene Norris. And here's her first score.
9-5.
Wonderful.
Next up from Downers Grove North.
Immediately becomes the score to beat. And next up, with a very difficult routine, Missy Olson, the junior from Downers Grove North. Everybody practically was tied on this event from the prelims, and now it's going to get separated.
That's right. Setting up for a first pass. Round off, flip-flop, flip-flop. Double flow, beautiful flip-flops out of it. Outstanding first pass. Beautiful high leaps. She's looking good. Getting ready for a second pass. There's a Russian, steps it out. Flip-flop, flip-flop, full twist. Very difficult. Flip-flop, stops it on top, goes right into the double pirouette. Triple pirouette. Beautiful. Ready for her last pass here. Round off, flip-flop, flip-flop. Full, beautiful. Using tempo change here, a little more dramatic. Nice presence. Very dramatic. Very fine performance by Missy Olson.
We featured her before, and now you can tell why.
Getting a hug from one of her coaches, Leanne Franson. Al Beckett-all, Paul Barkeye in the background there.
Score to beat is a 9-5 by Jennifer Redmond, and that's Missy Olson waiting.
We'll pick up with Missy again in the middle of her routine. Here she is on her last tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop, flip-flop, and a full twist. Nice high fulls. A very solid performance.
Score for Missy Olson, 9.6.
Yes.
Missy Olson's your new leader, 9.6. That's the highest score given so far in the floor X competition this year at state meet. And here comes Sunny Steck, the junior from Naperville Central. Part of that pack at the top coming in.
Again, another very solid performer, a good, powerful tumbler. Setting up for her first tumbling pass here. Round off, flip-flop, flip-flop, another double full. Oh, my! Landed extremely short. And I'm afraid Sonny's hurt. That's her coach, Glenn Reimers, immediately there at her side.
Again, we have immediate medical attention available, which is attributed to the fine trainers that we have here in the state of Illinois.
Well, a chance to look at this again. Sonny runs into problems on her second of her double fulls, on the double full. Takes it up nice and high and loses it on the top and tuck both legs back in underneath her. I would suspect she's got some ankle challenges there.
We won't speculate for exactly what the injury is, but we can assure you that she'll get the finest clear available. And we'll be back after this.
Finding a tough truck for a good price doesn't have to be a tough choice. Take the Nissan Hardbody 4x4. It gives you the most horsepower of any standard truck in its class and lets you carry more cargo than any of the leading competitors. And with a price like this, the Nissan Hardbody lets you play in the mud without taking a bath.
Forget less price. Make us an offer. Nobody sells Nissans for less than Ray Harris King Nissan, 5757 West 2 and 9.
Sonny Steck leaving to a rousing round of applause, concerned about her health and welfare, as we all are. The broadcast rights to today's Girls State Gymnastics Final has been granted to Sports Channel by the Illinois High School Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction of this event without the written consent of Sports Channel or the IHSA is prohibited.
We're ready to continue on the exercise with Shannon Hayes from Rolling Meadows.
Shannon Hayes, a senior from Rolling Meadows.
Again, a defending champion, one of the three from last year. A very dramatic performance. Setting up for her first pass. Front. Round off flip-flop, flip-flop, double full. Nice pass. Good combination of difficulty there. Music and tempo change. Setting up for her next pass. Round off, Arabian. Through to a layout. Looking good. Again, another music change. She's dancing very well. Jump handstand, pirouette. Audience is really getting involved here. And here she is in her last pass. Flip-flop, layout. Looking good. Nice performance by Shannon Hayes, a senior from Rolling Meadows.
Shannon, one of the finer performers, loves the flow exercise, and the crowd loves her. Score to beat right now is a 9.6. Missy Olsen from Downers Grove North has it. And the senior, Shannon Hayes, is waiting for hers.
Chance to look at another tumbling run here from Shannon. Round off Arabian. Round off flip-flop. and a layout. Nice combination of tricks. That was her second tumbling pass, a nice strong pass.
Liz Calabrese from Libertyville. Interesting, back-to-back defending champs.
That's right.
Her score, 9.6, so we got a tie at the top.
Crowded once again in floor. Once again, Liz is just a junior. Getting ready for her first tumbling pass. There's a front, flip-flop, flip-flop, through to a double full. A little short, recovered very well. Nice turns, double turn rather. Full split leaps. Round off flip-flop. Another double full, second double full. Floor work. Side leaps, cat leaps, looking real good. And her final tumbling pass here. Round off flip-flop and a full twist. An outstanding performance.
Getting tough here.
That's right.
Talking about discriminating with very minute differences now.
Yes.
Her coach loved it.
We'll pick her up again here. On her last tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop and a full twist.
Score for Liz Calabrese, 9.55.
Liz gets a 9.55.
From Hoffman Estates High School,
The
Alyssa
crowd was doing a good job of trying to help the
That's
judges.
right. They were hoping probably for another at least 500ths, if not a tenth.
Alyssa Rego from Hoffman Estates, senior, having a great meet.
Well, she was one of two people to perform a double back yesterday, which was this is the first year for double backs. Here's her opening pass. Round off flip-flop, flip-flop. Double back. Her hands went down. That will be a fall. Will be a deduction for that. I like to see someone that will go after that, though. Second tumbling pass here. Front. Through to a tuck back. Nice double turn, rather. Flip-flop, flip-flop, tuck back. Nice finish.
Alyssa Rego finishes her career at Hoffman Estates High School here on the floor.
I'm sure she's disappointed having missed that double back. We'll have a chance to watch it here. That was her last tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop, flip-flop, and then a tuck back.
As you see the finish of Alyssa Rago's routine, we're saddened to tell you that there have been 2 scratches. Not real surprisingly, Kathy Couts, the sophomore from Hershey, has elected not to participate, though she is sitting in the stands with ice on and appears to be okay. Though injured, we don't know the extent of the injuries. And Jennifer Torres, the freshman from Barrington. So in between is going to come up one of the most exciting performers in this meet. We told you that some people weren't hardly as tall as the balance beam. Here she is, Emmy Cole, a freshman from Fenton High School in Bensonville. And she's exciting.
And she's got a cute little smile to go with that cute little body.
Alyssa Rago had a 9.0 for her routine.
Round off back with a half. Through to a double full. Incredible combination. Second tumbling pass, flip-flop, flip-flop. Full, looking real good, nice and solid. Performing very well for a freshman. First trip to the state meet and to the finals. Not intimidated the least. Double pirouette. Getting ready for her last tumbling pass here. Round off flip-flop, and another double full. Boy, she twists well. A few little form breaks in there, but she certainly twists well. Cute ending, real cute ending. Emmy Cole from Fenton High School, just a freshman.
Performed like a senior.
A seasoned veteran.
These kids are no stranger to competition, even if they're just freshmen. They've competed for a long time somewhere.
She began gymnastics when she was 9 years old. We'll have a chance to look at this last tumbling pass here. Again, round off, flip-flop, and a double full.
Competitors, coaches, and students involved will appreciate you remaining seated to share the presentations to this year's team winners in the crowning of the
A real cute performer.
Well, she's only been competing for 5 years. She's done a heck of a good job with those 5 years.
I would agree.
You're waiting her scores.
Cole,
Crowd's not real pleased.
9.55.
9.55.
Conan High School, Christina Chung.
Gives her a tie for second. Which, because the tie at first actually is third at this point, as you see, Christina Chung having a great meet, the senior from Conant High School. Very graceful.
Very elegant, yes. That's one word that comes to mind when I think of her performance yesterday. She's a very interesting tumbling pass, as I recall. Round off, full and a half, through to a back. Nice combination, very difficult. You don't see too many 1.5 twists. You get some originality for that. Flip-flop, flip-flop, full. Once again, just a very dramatic performance. Last tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop, full. Very dramatic, a real crowd-pleasing routine.
Very distinct style differences between she and Emmy Cole.
That's one of the nice things about floor. There's a lot of variety, a lot of room for variation. You've got the choice and selection of music. And on top of that, you've got any combination of tumbling passes you would like. Anytime you add music to something, you've got a lot more variety. Here's Christina's last tumbling pass once again. Round off flip-flop. And a full twisting back. And a big smile. Nice leaps, nice jumps. Whoa.
Score for Christina Chung, 9.7.
Christina Chung is our new leader with a 9.7. Is not endangering the meet record, which is held by Michelle Hernandez of Palatine-Fremd High School of 9.9, set in 1986, but did eclipse last year's mark of 9.6. And tonight, whatever it takes to get first is what she'll take.
That's right.
High School, Cheryl
I'm sure that first
Karowski.
pass of hers with that back, with a 1.5 twist, helped her tremendously.
Our next to last performer on the Florax and for the evening, Cheryl Karowski, Resurrection, her last performance in Illinois.
Getting ready here for her first tumbling pass. There's a front, through, double full, very solid. Moving very well. Here's the second pass. Round off flip-flop and a second double full. Almost over-rotated on that. She's pulling all the stops here. Half flip-flop into the pirouette. Once again, tough combination there. Here's your last pass. Round off flip-flop, full twist, back walkover out of it, and she ends.
Cheryl Karowski, Resurrection. The all-around champion, waiting for her score in the individual event, the floor exercise, getting hugs from her teammates, Resurrection.
Cheryl's another performer that has provided us with an awful lot of entertainment over the last couple of years. A chance to look at this last tumbling pass here again. Round off flip-flop, full twist, and then flip-flop step outside of right out of that. And then a dramatic ending. Cute pose.
9.65 for Cheryl. Gives her second place right now, and as we await the final performer of the evening. Fitting that she should be from Palatine High School, the host, Jody Forsberg, closing out her senior career in her own gym.
Very appropriate. Flip-flop, double full. Moving very well to the music. steps it out, through to a full. Pirouettes. And here's her last pass. Ends with a full. And there's Jody Forsberg, the senior from Palatine, ending her career in fine form.
Well, there you have it, the final performance of the evening. Jody Forsberg.
And again, a look at her last tumbling pass. Round off flip-flop and a full twisting back.
Score for Jody Forsberg.
And she finishes.
Jody score a 9.6. So unofficially, we have the champion as Christina Chung from Conant, and we'll be back with all the official results after this message on Sports Channel. Girls athletic coordinator here at Palatine High School, who also coordinates this entire meet and runs it very efficiently
In
with her
10th place,
crew of 100.
From Naperville Central, Sunny Steck.
And her husband Mark to give us the
In
results.
9th place, with a score of 9-0, from Hoffman Estates High School, Alyssa Rago. In 8th place, with a score of 9.5, from Rich Central High School, Jennifer Redmond. There's a tie for 6th and 7th. The score is 9.55. The two girls are Lisa Calabresa of Libertyville High School and Emmy Cole of Benton High School. There's a three-way tie for 3rd place. These are the medalists. Please, when I call your name, take your place at the awards stand. 3rd place, the score was 9-6, and the girls who tied at 9-6 are Missy Olson of Downers Grove North. Please step forward to accept your award. Shannon Hayes of Rolling Meadows High School also scored 9-6.
Fine hand for Shannon.
These three girls all had
And
very
Jody
different
Forsberg
routines.
of Palatine High
I guess
School
that's
also
kind of-
scored 9-6.
Lets you know that there's no one set way to do things. But you can do different combinations and different tumbling passes and more dance or whatever tends to impress the judges. There are certain standards,
In
of course,
2nd place,
and
with a score of
minimal requirements,
9.65, from Resurrection
They can
High
have their own
School,
personal flair.
Cheryl Karowski.
but and there's Cheryl Karowski, no stranger to the award stand, finishing 2nd here in this event.
And in 1st place, with a score of 9.70 points, from Conant High School, the 1990 Illinois State 4X champion is Christina Chung.
And here's Christina Chung, our floor exercise champion, a very elegant, crowd-pleasing routine. This is her
Ladies and
first trip
gentlemen,
to the state
presenting the
meet.
1990
What a way to
Illinois
finish.
State
Not kidding.
Come and go
4X
and
medalists.
leave a champion.
That's right. And here's a chance to look at that championship routine of hers. Very solid performer. Moves with very powerful, confident moves. There's that 1.5 twist. Good combination in the first pass. Sets up, ready for a 2nd pass. Round off flip-flop, flip-flop, full twist. Very solid performer. Pirouette and a half.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the awards stand.
Backspin.
Presentation of the third, second, and first place team and individual awards for the 1990 IHSA Girls Gymnastics State Final Meet.
And her last pass. Flip-flop full.
Of Monticello High School in Monticello, who serves the IHSA as Secretary of the Illinois High School Association. Assisting Mr. Nixon presenting the team awards will be Mrs. Sherry Wilcox
The champion.
here at Palatine High School. Mrs. Wilcox has served as state coordinator of this year too.
Those are your Florex results and your state champion, Christina Chung from Conant High School, as we get ready to give the team awards. 3 trophies are awarded, first, second, and third, and they'll be awarded by Mr. William Bitz of the IHSA and Sherry Wilcox of Palatine High School. It's empty now, but it's going to be crowded very quickly for the whole crew of excited girls. Team trophies very coveted here in the state of Illinois. Palatine High School defending champs. And it's been one of the closer races all year, though the meet almost was decided last night.
Yes.
It's real tough to gain a whole 1.25, which is the lead that first place team had coming in this evening. You've got to have a lot of performers to pick up a little bit here and a little bit there.
There were 19. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Sure.
That 19 of the performances this evening were those of team members that were competing here for the team title. And we did have some movement, but nothing that really changed the places.
Sherry Wilcox looking anxiously ready to complete this tour of duty, which takes a lot more time than just this evening. It's an incredible amount of hours and behind the scenes work that has to get taken care of to put this thing on. And as we said, about 100 people actively working the meet.
And Palatine just does an outstanding job. They've done it. This is the 12th year now, and it keeps getting better and better.
It's been a great meet.
Introducing the principal of Resurrection High School, the third place team.
These are the members of the team.
Coach Sue
First,
Fosco.
Coach Susan Fosco. Assistant coach Chris Kuby. Assistant coach Debbie Morocco. And now the team members. Lynn Carrillo, a freshman. Jenny
There's an
Heener, a
excited
junior.
group of girls right there. No doubt having
Nikki
an
Tater,
experience of their
sophomore.
lifetime.
Kelly Wodarski, sophomore. Cheryl Karowski, senior.
And there's Cheryl Karowski, the anchor of
Kathy
this
Carlson,
team.
freshman.
Certainly had an
Lori
outstanding weekend.
DiFranza, freshman. Jenny Johnson, junior. And Beth Horn, junior.
Final Resurrection team score, 145.25,
Susan
an outstanding
Fosco.
total.
And her
One of the
captains
higher, I'm sure.
of Resurrection High School, please step forward to receive the third place trophy.
And there is the trophy. Many teams begin, 8 teams get here, the Elite 8, and 3 are left when it's all over, as Cheryl Karowski and her teammates and Coach Sue Fosco take the third place trophy back to Resurrection High School in Chicago.
I'm sure they'll find a real special spot for that trophy.
Ladies
when
and
they get back to
gentlemen,
school.
presenting the third place finishers in the team competition in the state of Illinois for 1990. They scored 145.25 points. Resurrection High School.
Nice to have your team photo on the award stand at state.
Yeah. Find a real special place for that picture, too. Like maybe the whole wall in a hallway. with a trophy next to it.
You know, there are an awful lot of gymnasts who have graduated that you and I have seen over the years that are back watching this meet. So you know there's a real soft spot in the heart. There's this real special feeling in the gym, and nothing will ever take this moment away for any of them.
There's something unique and different about a state caliber state meet. And it's something unique. I don't even think you can put it into words, but, you know, when you talk to the returning gymnasts about what it was like,
please meet the Pirates of Palatine, who finished the 1990 season in second.
You're going to hear a big round here. This is Palatine High School runner-ups. Leading the pack is the new principal of Palatine High School.
First, we'd like you to meet the principal-elect of Palatine High School. This is Nancy Robb.
Principal-elect.
Nancy will take over next year for a really classy move by Bob.
These are the members of
right.
Palatine's team. First,
yes,
Coach Sandy Oldham.
And there's Sandy, who has no doubt spent many, many tireless hours here getting everything prepared for this meet.
Terry Theobald, one of those behind-the-scenes incredible people who has been with this program
and now
for
the
a long
gymnast
time.
from the team, Lori Hill Jr. Kelly Instead, sophomore.
We know no
Steph
matter who they
Stoltz,
graduate,
sophomore.
they'll always come back tough.
That's right. I was just thinking that to
Jamie
myself.
Berman,
You know, they lost a lot of
senior.
seniors last year, but they certainly were able to regroup and
Jody Forsberg,
draw on all the
senior.
talent that they had.
There's
And
Jamie Berman, senior
Michelle
in her
Matris,
career with
junior.
teammate Jody Forsberg. The seniors.
Tricia Herring, sophomore.
Younger kids just can't
And
understand how
Chris
hard
Barr,
it is
Jr.
until they're there.
With a very, very happy
And now
girls.
will Coach Sandy Oldham and seniors Jamie Berman and Jody Forsberg of Palatine High School please step forward to receive the second place trophy.
And there, your state runner-ups, Palatine High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Palatine High School. State runner-ups in the team
congratulations, ladies, an
competition for
outstanding job.
1990. They scored 145.95 points.
Palatine record 9 appearances here at the state finals.
That's an incredible statistic. I wasn't aware of that. Boy, there's consistency in a program.
They need a whole trophy case just for their state championship and runner-up trophies for gymnastics.
Oh, great.
They have tremendous other programs as well.
Well, that's a tribute to the fine athletic facilities, excellent coaching staff, and no doubt a good community program, too. I
This
think all
time, please
those
meet
things
the
coupled
Olympians
together
of
to
Rich Central High
come up with
School
a
who finished the
continuous
1990 season in
outstanding
first
effort.
place.
Tradition and spirit.
That's right.
And here comes Rich East. Rich Central.
First, meet the principal of Rich Central High School, Mr. William McGee. These are the
Great
members
moment.
of Rich Central's team. First, head coach Dan Malloy. Assistant coach Judy Redmond. And now the gymnasts.
This is what
Chris
Rich
Amadian,
Central
a
has been
junior.
waiting for a long time. They've been a runner-up twice. This time,
Schwartz,
they
a
got it
freshman.
all.
Jill Redmond, junior. Tamika Adams,
A lot of
junior.
talent. They're small but mighty in numbers.
Jennifer Redmond, senior. Renee Donovan, senior. And Heidi
Jennifer has to be
Yergler, a
one
junior.
happy woman today. Ending an outstanding career. Performed very well today.
Will head coach Dan Malloy and captain Jennifer Redmond of Rich Central High School please step forward to receive the first place trophy.
Their final score, 147.15. And the smile on Jennifer Redmond and Mrs. Redmond's face tell it all. Rich Central High School, Illinois state champions for 1990.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 1990 state championship team. Rich Central High School scoring 147.15 points.
And the full house shows their appreciation for everything that it's taken to get here. Standing ovation. We'll be back to wrap everything up right after this. I'd like to remind everyone of our state champions on the vault. Jennifer Redmond closing out her career, the senior from Rich Central with a 9.8, tying the state record. On the uneven parallel bars, a newcomer, Kathy Kautz, sophomore from Arlington Heights Hersey High School, also 9.8, breaking the state record. On the beam, Wendy Lahuchek, a junior from Wheeling with a 9.65. And on the floor exercise, Christina Chung, a senior from Conant High School, 9.7. The all-around title, Cheryl Karowski, closing out her career from Resurrection with a 38.20, an average of 9.55, which breaks the state record. The team results: in third, Resurrection High School of Chicago, 145.25. Palatine, the hosts, 145.95 as runner-up. And the new state champions, Rich Central High School, 147.15. Judy, some closing thoughts.
I was just real excited. This was a great meet. The performances are outstanding. We're breaking state records. This is by far the most exciting state meet we've had in a long time.
Well, as usual, it's been a pleasure working with you. I really enjoy it, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone next year. But we have a lot of people we'd also like to say thank you to for all the production this year. At this time, Sports Channel would like to thank some of the people who have made this event run so smoothly. From the Illinois High School Association, Executive Secretary Levere Astroff, Associate Executive Secretary H. David Fry, Assistant Executive Secretaries Charlene Bremberg, Ola Bundy, who's responsible for this portion, Jim Flynn, and Donald Robinson. And from the host school, Palatine High School, Principal Robert Rozicki, and Principal-elect Nancy Robb, Meet Manager, and a fine job, Sherry Wilcox, Meet Director Sandy Oldham, Assistant Meet Director Don Crandall, and to Public Address Announcer Mark Wilcox. Also, a special thanks to the Palatine High School Athletics, Maintenance, and Custodial Services. Our next IHSA event will be Friday for Boys Swimming and Diving Championships, beginning at 10:30 p.m. Our executive producer has been Steve Corman. Tonight's event has been produced and directed by Michelle Cefante. Remote facilities provided by Group W. Stay tuned for Chicago Championship Wrestling. I'm Ann Penstone saying good night for Judy Bussey. Once again, our state champion, Rich Central. The proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel.